Hi, and welcome back to Musicians Edition Practice with me for Flute. I'm your teacher, Risa, and today we're working in the Rubank Intermediate Method for flute or piccolo, and we are on our very last lesson for this book. We're on Duet Brilliant, looking at part 1. So, if you haven't gotten your advanced book 1 yet, make sure you do. I'd show you mine, but I have it packed up because the next time you see me, I'll be in a different room. Yes! So that's really exciting. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to our actual lesson here. So, looking at our key signature, we have what? We have 1 flat, B flat, making it nice and easy. But let's take a scoop through and let's see if we have any accidentals that will be coming up. We have a couple C sharps, very little C sharps, not too bad. Let's take a look at our time signature. What do we have? Common time, 4/4, keeping it simple this time. Okay, now with this piece, there's a lot of runs you can see. And what's going to be helpful practicing this piece is your scales. Scales are really going to help with this piece. Whether you're on part 1 or part 2, scales are really going to help here. And with your arpeggios, include your arpeggios here too. So this piece is allegro, and from what I've seen, most people are playing it about 1/16 beats per minute, but we are going to slow this down just so we can get the hang of it, okay? Because we really want our 16th runs to sound nice and clean. Most of them are slurred, so they need to be clean. Okay, so we're gonna slow it down for today's lesson, but on your own time, make sure you practice it up to speed. And if you're playing with another person, make sure you're both playing it towards the correct tempo. All right, so let's go ahead and let's sight read this. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, excellent job. So you could probably see already where some of the trouble areas are.
This lesson is brought to you by the Musicians Edition Practice Book. Make goals and keep track of progress throughout the whole year. When you're done with this video lesson, don't forget to mark this practice time in your Musicians Edition Practice Book. Now back to the video.
So let's take it line by line and we'll see if we can clean it up here today. And remember, if any of this part is faster than what you need it to be, slow it down on your own time. And you can even take things note by note if you need to. All right, so let's first take a look at our first line. This line's really not too bad. So let's do it nice and slow together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so those 8 note runs there really are not too bad. They're not in the difficult register, and just the pattern's really not too difficult. But once again, if that was too fast, just slow it down. And that might help even because it's not just necessarily right there, right. There are some ups and some downs. Okay, and then just make sure your staccatos are nice and short. So let's go ahead and do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And those quarter notes really feel like paradise, don't they? Yeah. All right, let's go ahead onto line 2. We'll play to just the 2 measures because we have the repeat. Now, where does the repeat take us to? The beginning. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the 2 measures, take the repeat, and then play until the repeat, and then we'll stop. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, excellent job. That's probably the easiest part of the piece. All right, so it's gonna get a little more challenging. So let's just look at that last measure. So here you just kind of have to, once again, pay attention to when we have the jumps and coming back up on things. All right, so let's take it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, perfect. Now let's speed that up. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, excellent job. Let's continue on to line 3 now, okay? This section's not overly bad either, so it's not too bad. All right, let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So here you kind of have to look ahead a little bit, or at least this is how I do it. When I'm doing those runs, I look a little bit ahead to see where I need to go. This also might be a section where you need to slow it down just to get used to the pattern and to kind of register where you're going. Right, because like that A, B, B, A, B, A, G, unlike the others, which kind of go up and down, right? This one's too. All right, so let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right, now we're on to line 4. And this section gets a little bit harder. Okay, we're in that upper register, and that's a hard area to keep clean. So I really highly suggest this section you slow down and clean it up. Okay, that's what it needs. And even for myself, I honestly could probably clean it up a little bit better too. But with the move and everything, it's a little difficult for me to squeeze that practice time in. But anywho, we're gonna clean it up. Okay, so let's take that measure, just that measure 1 of line 4, really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. And remember those C's are all sharp because that's still the same measure. There's a lot of notes in that measure. Make sure your C's are all sharp. Okay? Let's go ahead and do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So that's just how you're going to take that slow and speed it up. Okay? Let's do that whole line now together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job. I guess we'll have to pay attention to that last measure too. Take note that the C's are all sharp as well because that sharp is right on the first one. And it also kind of throws people off when it goes to the D to that B flat. So this section you might want to slow down as well and really get those under your fingers. Let's do this line one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. right, excellent job. Let's take a look at line 5 now, okay? This one's a little bit easier now, which is nice. So let's go ahead and give this one a go. Nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Do you take note too on measure 2 of line 5 of that first 16th run goes to B to G, not B to A. Okay, a lot of students want to do, since there's been so much actual like scale runs, that one goes B to G. All right, let's do this one again. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, excellent job. Now we're on to this last line. And honestly, this last line is probably the hardest line, just because of where it hits on that higher register. It gets people with confidence and fingerings having to get twist-tied sometimes. So once again, also take this slowly and speed it up. Okay, so we're gonna take this real nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job. So it's a lot easier when it's at that pace. The hard part is the breathing. But we got to get those clean fingers and clean transitions from the notes with the slurs. So let's go ahead and do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so yes, really slow down this section and then work your way up to tempo. All right, unfortunately we can't do that all here today in this lesson, so let's go ahead and play it all beginning to end together, and then we'll play it as a duet at the slower pace. All right, so here we go, beginning to end. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, excellent job. Let's go ahead and do this as a duet now. So you remain on part 1, and I'm gonna go ahead and play part 2. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, excellent job. This is a pretty challenging piece, but I suppose that's expected to be as we move on to the advanced series. So this calls for an applause. We did it. We made it through the intermediate book, and now we're moving on to advanced, which means we're getting close to being advanced players. Congratulations. That's really exciting and that's really great. And if you've been with me the whole entire time, I very much thank you for learning alongside with me. Now let's go ahead and we're going to continue on the series, and we're going to hit up Advanced Volume 1. All right, but before we go over there, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, notify, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our practices. Thanks for joining, and until next time, I'll see you guys over for Advanced Volume 1.